We're here in Orlando for Momentum Christian Radio Conference with Grammy nominee DOE.
Hey!
So you were actually just in Toronto, Canada.
Yes.
Was that your first time in Canada?
No,
Okay.
I've been there a lot. It was my second time in Toronto. The last time I was in Hamilton.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And you were here with Brandon Lake.
I was here with Brandon, yeah.
And what's your impression of Canada?
Canadians are the nicest people I've ever met.
Yes!
Yes. You guys are winning in that area.
Yeah, we do try though. We do try.
Yeah.
I love being here in the States though, because whenever you say sorry, people are always like, no, you're okay. I'm like, well, I'm not apologizing. It's more like an excuse me. Like,
I didn't apologize to you, okay?
Well, we are just such a huge fan of you.
Thank
and I
you.
know that you're from a very musical family.
Yeah.
Forever Jones.
Yes.
Right? So at the moment where you decided to branch out, were you, obviously seasons, God's timing and all that, but
Yeah.
there must have been a point where you're like, no, I know who I am as DOE.
Yeah.
So like, who are you, and how did you know like who's DOE the artist, but who's DOE the person too?
My family, I had a heavy hand in like writing and leading when we were a group, and we all contributed, but they always made space for me to be myself. Stepping out and away from them was scary because you do music with these people and your voice blends so well with them. I could give them a look on stage and they would know where we're going in a song. And then you have to step out and build that for yourself outside of your blood relatives who've been with you for years. And I think that's what was different about cultivating who DOE is. Artistically, I was just always writing anyway, but just like, I don't want to say brand, but I'm going to use that word just so you can understand. Brand-wise, it was kind of a challenging thing for me. Yeah.
I would imagine too, like, because I come from a supportive family too,
Yes.
that there's a safety kind of security blanket.
Oh my gosh,
And now you're
yes.
thinking, and now everyone's judging me, which they're not. I mean, in a way,
Right.
maybe music industry, maybe
Yes.
they are, but
Yeah.
it's a very different confidence level.
It is. And it's like, and this sounds negative, but it's not. But if anything goes south, it reflects on me. Did I practice enough? I don't have my family to be like, well, it's like, it was about me building. And so I feel like I've grown a lot. I've become a lot stronger and more confident. So it was good for me. But yeah, it was a beautiful challenge for sure.
And finding your own voice too,
Yes.
your sound of your music.
Wait, I love how you said supportive family, because like we're still so close. I tell people like we're just in love with each other. We just
Such
love.
a blessing.
Yeah, so that safety net is a beautiful thing.
Well, and your husband, and you're
Yes.
newly married.
Yes,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Is also musical. So now you're like
is.
continuing that legacy of like family and music. So I'm sure
Yeah.
one day you'll have little minis with doing music,
Yeah.
hopefully maybe.
He better have rhythm or something, No, I'm kidding, but yeah.
Speaking though about sound and identity, and I mean this in the best way. I know some people don't like being compared to other artists, but sometimes we think, and this is our music director too feels this way, that you're kind of like the Christian music's kind of version. I hate saying that, but of her. In a way, style-wise.
Yeah.
And I think there's a real void in the music industry for style, for sound, for look, so what would you speak to that in terms of just, that identity?
First of all, I don't mind being compared to someone who's so great and she's dynamic. So that's a compliment to me. I encourage artists to just be who you are. You're always going to be a compilation of your experiences and the different voices and sounds that you soaked up, right? And people say nothing's original, but I do believe you have this original deposit from heaven that will always also shine through. That's your unique fingerprint. So I'm like, just be the truest version of yourself, and don't even try to be different just to be different. Just be you, and you will translate. You want to make sure that people feel like when you're singing that you're having an honest conversation. Yeah. And that's really how you shine.
You're good at that.
Hey, thanks.
You're good at that. Well, and I know, and this is probably where we'll wrap up, but I know that you have a heart for youth and youth ministry. I don't know, are you still serving in that area, or do you feel like now that you're married and in a different demographic, is that demographic that you're wanting to minister to growing with you?
I would say that I stopped being a youth minister when I moved to Dallas to do what was in my heart, which was music as a solo act. But when I travel, I connect with that age group still. And I just think that, I'm kind of childlike. So, when you hang out with me, you're like, oh, she has a child's heart. So I don't know. I've always had a heart for them because they're in such a sensitive time in their life. They're transitioning into adulthood. They think they know everything, but they don't. And that can be so frustrating. So I don't know. I just have a heart for them. And so when I see them, I'm like, how you doing?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah.
I've been there. So. Okay, so leave us with some thoughts when it comes to music, worship, because you have such a heart. I mean, your music sound is not worship, but you have such a heart and like a, persona, I guess you can say, this like body of worship whenever you're performing. So maybe, do you have any thoughts on that to wrap up in terms of your heart for that?
I would say, this is going to sound off subject, but I wanted my life to mirror what it would be like if you went to see your doctor and they were a Christian. They posture their whole life from a place of worship, and you feel that when you interact with them. You may not even talk about or say the word Jesus, but you're like, there's just something else in here as we're having this conversation, something deeper. I feel God, And so my music, I may just be having a conversation about my life, but because my life's posture is worship, I sing and write from that place, or my relationship with God. He walked with me through heartbreak. He walked with me through financial struggles, all of that. And I want them to hear and see that in all of my musical conversations.
It's all part of you. It's all
Yeah.
You're in your latest album, Note to Self. Again,
yes,
it's dope. Thank you, Doe.
Thank you so much.